Before the start of the battlefield 152, one thing to watch is the grievance confrontation between the server 14 and the server 19. After the two servers met for the first time on the battlefield, there always have conflict. But I didn't expect G27 to be so powerful. T01 and G27 are basically the strongest combination among all servers at present, resulting in no suspense on the battlefield. Before the opening of the inner ring, the pattern of the entire battlefield is that after the intersection of mass and mass in the middle ring is jointly broken by G27 and T01, the outer ring confluence area of mass and mass is sealed by G27 with territory. The intersection of HBR and top in the middle ring was blocked by T01, UN and CFW. Although the situation has been settled, the Alliance B continued to launch assaults on the center ring while defending. Mass and top was against T01 and UN to launch attacks. Mass mainly played against G27, HBR played against UN, and CFW became less active after the situation stabilized. This situation has been maintained until the inner ring is opened. The competition for the inner ring has begun. Judging from the overall performance of the previous battlefield, G27 and T01 have the strongest combat effectiveness in the battlefield 152. After negotiation, they decided to fight in the inner ring to determine the distribution of rewards, T01 and UN versus G27 and CFW. Although it is difficult for the Alliance A to reverse the game, Mass, Top and the Eastern Front are still engaged in a very high-intensity confrontation every day, resulting in a huge consumption of the Eastern Front's reserves. Especially 2 days before the decisive battle between the Eastern Front and Western Front, the latent spy of Mass revealed the time of the decisive battle to Mass and Top. So 24 hours before the decisive battle, Mass and Top launched a large-scale attack at the same time, breaking through the blockade of the middle ring. At this time, it is obvious that it is no longer realistic to continue the decisive battle in the inner ring. T01 and G27 negotiated to postpone the decisive battle and redistributed the rewards at the same time. However, this negotiation was not smooth, and the two parties had a dispute over the distribution. At the same time, the alliance relationship of Alliance A began to be chaotic, because the communication was not in place. The Eastern Front and Western Front formed alliance for a while, and then the alliance disbanded for a while. Both sides have become more and more distrustful of each other. After agreeing to the distribution conditions, G27 took advantage of T01's sleep time to directly disband the alliance and destroy T01's large forces. This betrayal caused chaos on the battlefield. G27 stated that it has entered the era of melee, and the Eastern Front suddenly entered an extremely unfavorable state and may instantly enter a state of being 5 vs 2. CFW and T01 have cooperated many times. CFW stated that they will not participate in such behavior. At this time, the attitude of other alliances becomes extremely important. First of all, people from the old alliance HBR first contacted T01, stated their opposition to G27's behavior and willing to switch alliance. Representatives of Top, Mass, and Mass also entered the group chat, stated their agreement to oppose G27, and the agreement was reached. Is the situation reversed in an instant? G27 becomes a target? No, it is not going to be a simple plot. Less than 10 minutes after HBR signed a peace agreement with the Eastern Front, it suddenly cancelled the agreement and continued to attack UN. Top did not sign the agreement and continued to attack T01. At the same time, 1 day after signing the agreement with the Eastern Front, Mass and Mass also terminated the agreement. It's just that Mass didn't have conflict with T01 again before the safety area opened. Apparently, there are divisions within these alliances over the T01 and G27 conflict. Disruption of order means chaos on the scene, and each alliance has its own targets. Finally, between the opening of the safety area, the situation on the field became T01 and UN versus HBR and Top and G27. G27 and CFW versus T01 and Mass. HBR mainly versus UN, Top mainly versus T01, CFW mainly versus Mass. After the safety area was opened, HBR might see that the battle against the Eastern Front cannot win, and started to unite with 5 alliances, hoping to sign an agreement to attack the Eastern Front. And this agreement was revealed by Spy, which caused the Eastern Front to be very angry. It gathered all its forces and raided directly to the military laboratory in the southeast in 6 hours. 3 days before the end of the Cairo Theater of Conquest, G27 mass and mass attacked at the same time, targeting T-01's military laboratory, assembly camp and town. The three alliances sent raid troops and directly built 3cc in these three locations. HBR attacked the military laboratory in the southeast to break through the blockade of the Eastern Front. Under the combined attack of the four legendary leagues, the Eastern Front showed very good tactical literacy. T-01 sent some troops to delay the construction of the CC of mass in the north, and first cooperated with UN to destroy the CC of G27, then T-01 went back north to destroy the bases of mass in Massachusetts. UN held the military laboratory. Some things become legends because you can never guess what happens next. When T-01 fought back mass in mass, G27 joined forces with CFW to attack the fort of Mass at the same time. G27 went deep into the interior of mass to build CC, and prepared to destroy all reward points of mass in Massachusetts. If this plan is successful, mass will not have any building reward this time. At this time of life and death, mass finally let go of all grievances and urgently asked T-01 for help. T-01 finally agreed to form an alliance with mass and joined hands to fight G27, stop G27's plan. At this time, CFW of the same side as G27 finally made a move, joined with G27, fought with mass, T-01. Then several forces started a chaotic battle on the map to fight for the final building reward. In the end, T-01 got the first place in the final influence ranking, and G27 got the Great Pyramid.